Other big news this week, tight end position, Rob Gronkowski hanging it up. And I just learned that when you were with the Patriots, you spent a lot of time inside the Patriots tight end room.
I did.
So what do you know about Gronk that we don't know just from watching him on TV because you were in the meeting room with him Monday through Saturday?
Sure. I mean, first off is he's a great, lovable guy. All the things you've always heard about Gronk. I mean, it's smile. It's love to be around football all the time. He is the same guy every day. I mean, a big, goofy animal, for lack of a better phrase. And I mean that in the most respectful way. I really do. But George Gotsey was kind of my boss when I was with the New England Patriots. And he was the tight ends coach. So I would sit in tight ends meetings with him at the time. And this is the one thing that always jumped out to me about Rob Gronkowski. Forget how damn big he is and how talented he is and the run blocker he is. He is a football savant. I'm telling you. I mean, it is, we would be in meeting rooms, and if you threw out a question, if George Gotsey threw out a question to Rob Gronkowski, hey, what's the call we're going to make with the tackle here with this specific defensive lineman? He would be all over it. Oh, we're going to switch block that. I mean, he would be all over every little detail like that. So, hey, he might not have known the square root of 64, okay? But damn it.
Might have.
He might have. You're right. But either way, when it came to football, man, he had a lot of just natural football IQ and a feel for the game that was what also made him special. And that offense is tough, Paul. It's a tough offense to learn.
Super
they do
complex.
a lot. So you've got to be pretty smart.
So even as a veteran, was he one of the guys in there on a Thursday taking notes?
Yes, he would. He wasn't a big note taker, but he sat right in the front of the tight end room, and he was right there and just, you know, he could just fire away right away. You know, I don't know how much have you ever seen Gronk in person?
Well, yes, I have.
Right.
And like it's very cool that you have experience with him in the meeting room because, I mean, 99.9% of the people that know who he is don't have that. On the role that I played on our Football Night in America show on Sundays, I would go down to the field, whatever game I was at, in the last 6 minutes of the game. We were in the press box before that, but I'd go down to the field, and it was in Pittsburgh a year and a half ago.
Sure.
The big fumble
the Jesse
game.
James,
Yes,
exactly. Catch, no catch, right.
On the Patriots' decisive drive there, Gronk was the guy.
Yeah.
And I was on the sideline 10, 15 yards away from him. And to see that in person, it's kind of like when you go to a baseball game and you're used to seeing on TV how fast the ball is coming in. Then you're actually there.
And you're like, how do they ever hit the ball? Right.
And I stand there and look at Gronk, and this is a game, as you know better than I do, of massive fast people, and he stood out.
He stood out.
There were a couple plays where it was cover two safeties, and Tom Brady got the ball, and he let it go, and you can picture it. There's that moment where the ball's in the air. It's going to go 25 yards downfield. You know that the tight end's going to have a shot at it. You know those two safeties are going to destroy the tight end. And I remember just watching and looking at Gronk, and the courage and the hands, two different times to bring it in and have the guys literally bounce off him.
Yes.
You don't get that many wow plays when you're around it a lot.
Yeah.
That was a wow series of plays. I walked away from that game going, if there's a better football player in the NFL than Rob Gronkowski, I'd like to see him.
It's pretty special. And we're gonna get into that a little bit with my dad, too, because, you know, my dad, with his years announcing games for CBS and all of that, gosh, I don't think there was a team he covered more than the New England Patriots. And, of course, he has history with Bill Belichick. So that could be a cool conversation. But I'm with you there because Gronkowski is one of those things. And I had a lot of even coach friends. I said this to Mike Florio on the show this week where, you know, they think they prepare for Gronk. We thought we had a good game plan. But, man, we didn't realize how big he was. We didn't realize the size and the athleticism and the combination because it can look clunky on film or on TV. And you go, is he really moving that well? But once you see it in person, to your point, you go, holy crap, not only is he one of the biggest guys in the field, he's sneaky fast, he's sneaky quick, and he's extremely powerful. And, hey, for my money, I know I haven't seen every tight end in the history of football, but in my lifetime, he is the best tight end for sure that I've ever seen. He's the greatest of all time at that position. And
about 2 plays later, at the end of that drive I was talking about at Pittsburgh, where he made those incredible catches down the middle of the field that showed a lot of courage and incredible hands. I forget if it was the 2-point play or if they just had first and goal from about the 2-yard line. They split him out wide, and they sent a corner out there on him.
Oh, I know.
Okay, this guy who just went from the most courageous catch I've seen this season is going to get a fade thrown to him against a 5'10" corner. It's not even fair.
Yes.
So the number of ways they exploited his talents just in a matter of moments. What might have been their biggest regular season game that season.
I hear
it was incredible.
It's incredible. Because what do you do? I would argue he's one of the greatest mismatches in the history of football because teams had to do just exactly what you're saying. You go, damn, what do we want to do? Do we want to put a linebacker on him? Damn, he's a little too athletic for a linebacker. And then you go, you know, okay, Now, do we want to put our best cover guy on him? Man, our best corner is, God, he's going to be overpowered by him. So I worry about that aspect. And, hey, there's games where, I think about the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. The Jacksonville Jaguars had to put Jalen Ramsey on Rob Gronkowski. Right. And that was, hey, great. He had a good day, Jalen, guarding him. But the point is that the Jacksonville Jaguars had to use their best defensive player on a tight end. Right. And then we saw Amendola and all these other guys at the end of the game start to show up. And because Jalen Ramsey's more worried about covering a Gronk or whatever it may be. But that's what kind of special player he is.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.